Yeah.
Next question.
Okay, here we go. When should married couples move out from their parents' home, or should they save money?
I don't know
or
the answer
move
to
out
that.
and rent?
How could you answer that question? I don't know.
There's a lot of factors behind this question. Listen to the Holy Spirit.
The
Do what
question
God
is,
tells
should I
you
live
to
with my parents and save some money? Like, look, here's the thing. People don't realize how spiritual money is.
Yeah.
So like,
Good
there was a
point.
time in our relationship where I went into ministry as a pastor and I walked away from a job in advertising and marketing and making more money. And then I started working in ministry, and I was actually working another job too at the same time. Right. But both of those incomes were less than your one income that you were making.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I think you went into that, possibly, you could speak to this better, but thinking that wasn't going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But you speak to that. I mean, there's a dynamic there with expectations, I think, with money and saving money that people miss.
Yeah. I remember when that was happening, and it was bizarre because we're partners. We're in this together. We're like shoulder to shoulder going through life. And it was surprising to me that after a couple of months of me kind of, I don't want to say being the breadwinner, but bringing in more to our income and our household, that I started feeling like this weird pressure that didn't feel like it was in order. I don't know if that makes sense. Is there a different way you could say that?
I'll throw this word out there. You tell me, did you resent a little bit that you were making more money than me?
I think the emotions got to that because of the like pressure I was feeling that I don't think I was meant to carry.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have never dreamt that or thought I could ever feel that, because I had no problem. Like, great, one of us makes more. We're a team. High five. Right. Like, this is our money. We put it all together. It all, you know what I mean? Like, we were so one. So I didn't think that it should have ever bothered me. But all of a sudden I felt this like, I just don't feel like it was a pressure that I was supposed to carry.
And I don't think there's an answer to, should guys make more money to girls or girls and husbands? Like, I don't think that's the question we're trying to answer.
Right.
I think it's more about like expectations a little bit.
Yeah.
So here you are and you're living at home. Like maybe you and your husband are now living at home with his parents,
mm-hmm.
right? Or, you know, and you're trying to save some money, and, you know, on paper, that's a good strategy.
Right.
There might come a day though where you're like, dude, this guy's not taking care of me, you know, and when are we going to get our own place? And he's spending money on his, you know, PlayStation 5 instead of saving it for a down payment on a house or whatever it is. And that expectation has to be super clear, because that short season where you did make more money than me, I realized, okay, well, we need to flip this back around, because I don't want you to feel like you got to take care of me.
Yeah.
And that was the way that you, in some ways, had been conditioned in the way that you thought, you know, and I think a lot of people are that way, you know, where it's like, I
don't even know if I was conditioned. It was just this thing I felt. And I think if you're asking this question, you're probably having some feelings you're trying to sort out. And I would just say, be honest and have a real conversation with your spouse about how you're feeling. Like, talk. You may not even know. And you're like, you're looking for counsel.
You're asking us.
Yeah, you're looking for counsel.
Probably not feeling it right now. You're like, how long is this going to go on? So make a plan to get to a plan.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have the plan of how to get the house, but you can make the plan to get the down payment. But maybe you're in debt. So maybe the plan is to get out of debt in 12 months. Then that plan is to save the money for the down payment.
Right.
Then, and so you got to make a plan to get to the plan. And then if, you know, you're not sticking to the plan, or you guys are both compromising because you don't have that stewardship, you know, muscle built up, because that's what it is, you can be real in that conversation. But I would say make a plan, you know, about that, because at the end of the day, like, there are expectations in relationships, and they're not always right, or it's not even about being right. It's just the reality that you didn't like that arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
I sensed that. We had to make a switch. It wasn't that I wasn't working hard. I was working two jobs, but like, dude.
And it wasn't that I wasn't grateful either for the hard work that you were putting in, but we felt we were in a place, the reality set in, and we pivoted and we shifted. And so have a conversation, how you're feeling, how it's going. You
thought you wanted to go back to work after having a kid. After we had our first kid, after like 6 weeks of work, you're like, you know what? I think I want to dedicate all this time to taking care of my kid, you know? And then so I upped it up again and got another job. And blah, blah,
There's
blah.
different personalities. I mean, different situations work. You and I
didn't resent you because you didn't want to go to work.
I would much rather rent than ever live with either of our parents. We've got phenomenal parents. It just, you know what I mean? So just have real conversation.
Yeah.
It's good.